time for me to get some more progress made on this guy, I think. Don't know how much more, but he's close. I mean, close in relative terms. I mean, I've spent how long on this guy? 8 hours. So the Beholder I spent 12 hours on. Lord Cillian, Master of Cruelties, about a little over 7 hours. Krampus and Santa, boy, they got 15 to 17 hours each. Holy moly. Contest minis got Cars Carval got 15 and a half hours. So this guy's not even at the high end really of the minis time spent. For me anyway. I have spent more. My contest mini, Cars Carval, who I don't even know if I ever submitted him. I don't know. I looked, I don't remember if I even submitted him, and I was like, and more I looked at him, the more I thought, he's all right. I can't say that he was spectacular and I felt like, ooh, this is one of my best or anything. All right, let's get some highlights on his hair, and I got to start working on the base a little bit. So let's see what I can get with that. All right, and I'm back to the sweater. It's cold upstairs, so I go upstairs for a while, and then I get cold, and then I come downstairs, and it's kind of cool. But then, as usual, I start warming up. I keep looking at this thing going, oh, there's some weird things I'm not seeing. That's what it is. I'm serious. I'm looking at things on it going, I don't think that's what I think it is. And then I painted it the wrong color if that's the case. I'm trying to paint the top of this one bone. I don't know if I somehow got brown on it accidentally or I just missed this. But definitely it should be this color. My wife's watching that Love is Blind. And like I said, it's one of those shows that I can take in small doses. It's interesting to me. It's a little bit much just to watch constantly for me. I just like, yeah, just give me the cliff notes. I'll watch it for an episode or half an episode. After that, I'm pretty good. I've got my fill. And it's interesting to see how people are. And even in that little microcosm of setup, it's really not great. It's an interesting premise, the whole thing. And I don't know, just seeing how people react, it is, you can see it, as somebody who's been married for a while, you kind of learn what's okay, what's not. Some people just they don't get it at the beginning of a relationship, and it's kind of funny. They're like, um, I, I understand. I don't know. I just think some people just don't get it. And I'm not saying I did either. There are things that you can and can't do when you're talking about a marriage, right? It's only it's funny. One guy went out and I shouldn't even be talking about this stupid show. One guy went out, spent all night out, hanging out with his girlfriends, not girlfriend, like his friends that were female. And then he went home. He went back to his fiance, the person he was supposed to be with, and she was upset. And he's like, I don't get it. Why are you upset? And I'm like, oh boy, this this is not gonna work. These guys, this guy does not get it. It's just, yeah, he does not understand. And then he says, well, if you want me to step back, just say so. So she says, I want you to step back. And he goes, nah, I'm not going to do that. Step back, from hanging out with these women. Okay. And one of them was one he even had like a relationship in the past. And, she's not thrilled by him hanging out with her. I wonder why. And yet, he doesn't get it. I don't know. Anyway, so speaking of things that I've been watching, I just watched Dune, the first part, a couple weeks ago, and it's pretty good. And then my dad's always been a big Dune fan, and he watched Dune Part 1, and he called me up and goes, "Hey, we need to go see Dune Part 2." I said, "Hey, yeah, we do. Let's do it." So that's what we'll be seeing soon enough. We're gonna go out and see Dune Part 2. I don't know. I thought about going tonight actually, but I don't know. I'll see him tomorrow during my birthday celebration. My wife's scheduled. My kids will come over. My parents will come over, and we'll just kind of, have cake and ice cream, I guess. I don't know what else. It's like even after sitting for a bit, my paints didn't dry up as much, or didn't dry as much as I would kind of thought they would have. Some of them just got wetter. All right, so yeah, I really need to start doing the other highlights. Let's start getting some fur highlights on there, shall we? All right, so the question is, what fur highlights do I use? It's kind of a reddish guy. I was using this bright red to kind of highlight his tongue, which is fine. But I think it's not, I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, I guess it kind of works, because it doesn't seem to be standing out too much on the tongue. And some people say you have to have a pretty steep contrast. So this, as it is, may not even be bright enough. I'm wondering if a red, I wonder if using this red will work. It would it is pretty bright. Maybe I use a fire red, like a really bright red. I don't know if I have anything brighter though. That's pretty much it. This is Evil Sun's. I mean, that's a pretty bright red, and it's a fairly pigmented red. Then I have like inks, and I could use an orange. An orange is pretty bright. I don't know. Would an orange color be too much? No, this is like an express color too, so it probably carries no color at all. It might be like a top color, like something brighten up, like if I go a little deep. Now I have pure red and vermilion. There's that ink. I really don't know if an ink's going to cut it for me. I got a pure red airbrush paint, which, by the way, has no. It's going to take some mixing. I'm already warm. Already warm. Let's take that off. It's not warm downstairs. I just get warm when I'm streaming. It's probably because I'm talking. It must be exhausting. It must be exhausting to talk all the time. Oh no! Guess I gotta charge this. Oops. Bummer, man. I didn't know it died. It doesn't really tell you the percentage. I gotta plug it in. All right, well, back to it. I guess it's old-fashioned shake the bottle, old-fashioned shake the bottle mixing for me. And this is one that's got, so you can see that it's like white on the bottom. That's one that means it's got a lot of color. I don't know. I'm probably fine with using this Evil Sun's red, to be honest. And I don't know if using an airbrush paint, even though it's thin, is all that great. It's thin. It's got decent pigment, though. That's the thing. See how that thing shook out. Nope, still got a fair amount of the white pigment on the bottom. I've noticed that the army painter ones, a lot of the light colors have a really light pigment, and you can see when it's not mixed because it just sits on the bottom of the bottle, and once it gets fully shaken up, it'll turn the same color as everything else, but it keeps settling, and that's where it's nice to have the shaker bottle, because the shaker thing, I've looked at those Cyclone ones. They cost $100 though. It's like, I got the massage gun. It shakes, I think, just as good. And all that does is shake the bottle. It don't give you a massage when you need it. And I really need the massage gun. So the massage gun's got some serious purpose. They need to come out with a head that'll just hold on the massage gun. Massage gun comes with like all these different heads. It should come with a paint bottle shaker head. You just clip it in there and it shakes the bottle for you. Why not? They give you all those other heads. All right, I'm not going to use that one. Take us too long to shake it up. It's either Vallejo, or is it Reaper? Oh, it's game color. It's either Vallejo, Vermilion, or Evil Sun's Red Citadel. I'm going to stick with the Evil Sun's Red, only because it's the color I use on everything else. And that'll provide consistency. And I don't have to come up with a new spot, or I don't have to enter a new color into my thing here. I might use like maybe an orange or something after to get some higher highlights, some brighter ones, sharper ones. What I am going to do is I'm going to add a drop of you're like, yes. What's a drop of medium? That's what I'm going for. The word is medium. The word of the day is medium. No, I just want to drop a medium in there just to slightly slow down the drying process on this. Let it mix up, be a little thinner. Just because if my paint looks a little thick, I don't want to get brush strokes. I want it to be fairly clean. That's really thick medium. I don't know if that's going to have the effect I want. It's supposed to increase the drying time and thin it out, but that looks pretty thick. And that's thicker than the paint I put it in. All right, just got to put a couple coats on. I got to go get some fresh water though. But this is just going to be, just going to start going down on the highs of his muscles here. I know it looks pretty red, but ultimately, I think when this stuff dries, it's not going to be very, pretty sure it's going to be pretty thin. I think I let myself get a drop of water on there. It's not good. It's like, stop it! Which means I should probably get mixed in with my brick red here to kind of provide some blending effect. Yep, it's doing what I want it to. Good. Before as it just starts to dry, I start to see the red fade. And that's kind of what I was hoping it would do, but I wasn't sure. Because I first put it on, I'm like, this is really red. So hopefully, once I'm done here, this is going to take a little bit of time because, well, I'm slow. But also, there's a lot of little places this is going to have to be placed. Hopefully, when all is said and done, it'll look perfectly natural. As perfectly natural as can be. Now the trick is, how do I get it on these individual hairs without painting the whole hair? Just want everything to look a little bit highlighted, but I don't want to paint anything red. Now the trick here is I'm trying to get this on in a way that it keeps calling out the highlights of his hair, giving it that red hue. But also, it's tricky because you can't really get every hair right. Then you're just kind of chicken scratching it in spots simply to make sure you get everything, but you're not hitting any particular hair sometimes. And I still haven't done the what do you call it, the eyes. Probably the only thing on him that hasn't been painted to its primary color yet. And this is a kind of a touchy task. I mean, it's probably not that difficult to get it too much. It is kind of starting to work. We'll see how it looks when it dries though, because it may require more. It is starting to pop out a little bit more though. Make sure I don't get too much on my brush. I may have to do more, but let's keep going. Let's get the muscles here. Actually, I think this is working. Slowly but surely, we're getting that nice hue, I guess. So I try to get further and further into the back of the body here. I really didn't go get myself some more water, did I? I said I needed a new batch of clean water to rinse and didn't go do it. So now here I am plugging away with the same. So our D&D campaign has taken a slight hiatus, 2 weeks. I mean, I was gone and then another person was gone. We only have 4 people, so we don't typically play unless everybody's available. I think one time we did. That's because it was kind of very last minute that one person canceled and then everybody else was there, so we just played. But typically we won't, if we know in advance, we won't play without somebody. And so yeah, we're on a little bit of a break. It's giving me some time to get some more painting done. And I got more guys to finish, by the way. I mean, we're supposed to play this week, and oddly enough, the other one that I need to work on is the one that's probably most likely to get some play coming up. But I think there's a little bit more to what they have to do that might not allow them to meet that guy yet, so it might buy me another week. So this guy's supposed to be one of the upcomings, or I don't know if he's upcoming or if they've already went by this guy or not. Because there was a threat of this guy, but I don't know that he actually was around. And otherwise, this guy's going to come up though. He's on the docket. I'm going to make all the baddies on the docket. They don't know it. But everybody's going to get their chance. So says me. Nobody's getting a dodge. All these cool bad guys. You got to give people a chance to fight them. It can't be just a matter of, You know, you gotta go for it sometimes, you know? Basically, I'm painting fur on him. He does have fur dents, but this takes a long time. Just saying, this is not a fast process. So I keep continuing to try to draw out these hairs. Plus, you gotta do it kind of when it's wet, because sometimes you don't notice when it dries. It starts to fade, and you're like, did I get those ones? It's part of the reason why I put the medium in, because I wasn't sure if it would stay on my brush long enough for me to paint. Because this is a small brush; it doesn't carry a lot of moisture, so it's not gonna necessarily stay wet as you would hope. Now, good paints, they have a decent drying time, right? So but you never know. You know, it's like you gotta extend their drying time a little bit, throw some medium on there so you can get some decent time to put it on, especially when you're using a fine brush. Thing is, I'm working with pretty easy to work with areas. There are some fairly tight spots coming up, and I may end up having to use an even finer brush. What is this? Oh, this is a 1. Holy moly. It's actually just a short brush, but it's a 1. It doesn't seem like a 1. It's like, oh wow, that's way more. Always trying to keep my brush with enough moisture in it that it doesn't like immediately dry up the second you pick up the paint. But yeah, you don't want to be so wet that it's dripping all over the place when you're putting it on either. We watched Yellow Jackets, my wife and I. Forgot what channel we watched it on, to be honest. I think it was Apple TV. We're currently watching Masters of Air on Apple TV, so we haven't gotten around to canceling Apple because we keep finding stuff to watch, but we're trying to do the cycle thing, you know, where you have a channel and you... Right now we're trying to hurry up, and we have till the end of the month to get through all of our Showtime, I don't know, something. We have... Oh, it's the PBS, that's the one we got, because we were watching Morse, Endeavor, Captain Morse. There's actually a show that's about him that's later. Actually, it came out before this one. We're going to try to watch that one, but that one's actually on a, what is it, BritBox? This is him. Morse, Endeavor was him when he was younger. His first name is Endeavor. You know, you could probably get some of this stuff just by doing a dry brush, but these are pretty fine. And although you might get it with a dry brush, I don't like dry brushing. I don't know, it just never looks right for me. I'm not a fan of it. Dry brushing is, I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. It's a technique that it can look kind of nice, but it is kind of a simplistic technique that's not very reliable, in my opinion, for what it can do. Definitely is, I don't know, he definitely seems to pop better right now. I probably could use a little bit more on the highlighty color, but that could be just another putting layer of this, because really and I'm not doing too much of the highlighty stuff underneath, because, well, you don't need to, right? Because ultimately, underneath is shadowed. You shouldn't need as much. Alright, so let's get some more on the muscles there. Some of these muscles are kind of big. They actually get a little bit more. I don't want to get it on the ring. Mostly finding areas. So the thing is, I'm only doing the top part so far. I haven't even gotten down to the... It's like you see people paint like these dragons. They paint every individual scale, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. I'm always impressed by people who do like dragons, and they paint every scale separately, and they're like two-tone scales. You know, they do the tips and they do the bases and they just everything. The whole scale is like almost like its own little task, and I'm like, oh. And all I'm doing is highlighting some muscles to get the fur to pop. Muscles in here, whatever, but so I'm just trying to get, like I say, like the fur to stand out, look a little more fur-like, you know? I don't even know how much light you need to actually see this guy closely. He's so dark. With the right amount of light, you can see him pretty good, but he's like, I don't know. It's like you need a well-lit area to get the full effect of the work I'm doing. It's like, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not sure if it's coming through. Just painting the tops of his fingers here. Giving his hands some definition. While at the same time not trying to make them look red, you know. It's all just an art thing, you know. This is I gotta say though, it's quite therapeutic. I'm saying if you haven't ever tried miniatures painting, and you're just watching somebody going, oh, I can't believe they're doing that. That looks like so much work. It's really quite therapeutic. Your brain just clears. You don't really think about too much of the things that life is throwing at you. It just kind of lets you focus on just doing something fun. And ultimately, it just feels satisfying. Trying to go too far under the arm because This is a highlight, meaning it's gonna stand out simply in that it's supposed to be the top of his hand or the top of it. As the light hits, that red in his muscles or whatever just kind of shows up more. He's got, and then whoever did this is actually quite the artist. The muscles look very realistic. I don't even want to say muscles, fur, whatever it is. It's like it changes directions according to the muscle tension, almost like with the direction the muscle fibers would go, right? And it's very cool, but also very hard to replicate when you're just trying to. Highlight them. And the question is, how much do I do it? I mean, do I go all the way around? Do I do the areas that are kind of under the dark? One second you'd say no, but then somebody lifts them up and kind of puts the light on it. You're gonna be like, oh yeah. Slowly getting all the muscle fibers covered, highlighted. I have to take a little bit of my other color here, just to provide a little bit more transitional color here. I don't have a lot of transitional color here because my brick red color is kind of drying, but just enough to make sure I'm not. Just enough that I need to add more. It's just not enough. Gonna have to get. It's just too hard to clean up off the board here, and so I'll take some of my red over with me to this other spot. Just so it's wetter too, so it's kind of hard to blend it up. It's easier to blend when it's wet. And I'm also looking through my sliding off my nose magnifying lenses. It's like, stop it. Just a little bit more here. I lose where I'm at. Looking through the back of my glass, like, where is it going? Because it focuses, it disappears onto the next. So my eyes are like, they have to refocus on whatever it is I was looking at. Yeah, because I don't even know if my paint's coming off my brush anymore. Feels like it's just all dry. I don't even do anything on the other hand. I'm just got to work the other hand now. I think I've done both arms, but I haven't done hand here. Gotta call these bony fingers of his. They're not bony, I guess. They're muscular, or hers, or whatever this thing is. Like I said, I think it might be a female, and I'm just not used to calling him that yet. It's a monster, so whatever it is, its hands. Can you call it a him or a her if it's a monster? If you don't know, it's an it, right? If you don't know if it's male or female, it's an it. So I guess I'll just call it an it. Of course, in our day and age, they think it becomes multiple. It's everything. It's all at once. Everything and nothing at all. Neither, but both. It's them. No, not them. Anything but them. I have to blend away some of my stuff.
You saw I broke my spoon holder again.
Yes, I did.
I broke it this time.
What'd you do? Drop something on it?
Yeah, the salt fell on it.
Oh. My wife bought this little ceramic thing in Mexico when we were there. And somebody dropped something on it and broke it. It's just this little, like, she says it's a spoon holder. You know, it's just a thing you put on the stove. And it, it just holds your spoon or whatever. It keeps you from making a mess on the counter or whatever. And I fixed it, and then somebody dropped something on it, broke it again. And I'm trying to fix it again. I glued it again. I don't know if... Don't know if it's fixed, though. I mean, I don't... It's good because I don't know what broke it. It looked like it broke it right in the exact same spot when it broke the second time, so I'm not sure if the glue is any good. So what I did was I used a different glue. I switched it over to something new, but I went to the Gorilla Glue. I tried Super Glue the first time. Of course, you know, it's not going to survive if you keep dropping stuff on it. I mean, it's ceramic. Even if the glue holds... It's gonna break somewhere else, right? Ugh. I think my... Sometimes I think my brush is... It's drying out, even when I'm trying to move quickly. You can only move so fast. I mean, oh well, that's a lie. Some people can go crazy fast. I'm just not that guy. So I think it's actually looking pretty good. He's getting a lot more detail. His face is kind of a lot more defined. I still got to put the eyes on and the teeth on, and that's going to call out a lot in the face. I got to do some serious, significant work on his... what else? Oh, maybe there's not. What was I missing? There was something I thought I had to do. Oh yeah, I gotta do the silver trim. Because I'm trying to... I don't want it to look like stripes, you know, it's got to look like the fur, and that's what I'm trying for here. I'm trying not to make it look like stripes, but... So by keeping them close enough together, I'm hoping that's what I'm accomplishing. And then I if I do these blendy things, it'll also make it a little less stripy. Plus, I'm doing it with a magnifying glass, so I'm hoping if they're close enough together, the naked eye is going to have a hard time seeing the variation, you know, the stripiness. Because they're super like micro stripes, you know. I am painting the fur lines, pretty much every single one of them, so oh boy. What time is it? 5 o'clock. I'm about ready to call it a day. You know, like a day for enough painting for a day. I don't know. Unless I change my mind and come back down later. Which is not unheard ofly possible. I have done it. I have painted at night. I do paint at night more often than not. So yeah, I could easily just change my mind and go, yeah, never mind. Decide to paint some more. I really want to finish this guy. Which has got me motivated to keep going. But also, can't do the same thing all day. I can't. There are people who can. Don't get me wrong. I'm just the person who has a hard time just doing one thing. I feel like there's more to be done. So I could easily just come down and play video games if I come down. Maybe. I don't know. It's all in the air. Everything's possible. Everything is possible. Everything is awesome. I don't even remember his name. What is the Lego guy's name that sings that? Well, I guess all of the Lego people sing it in the first show, right? Okay, my brush is getting kind of wonky here. Needs to get some water in it. They think everything is awesome, right? Not everything is possible. But it goes along with that. Now, question is, what have I missed? Got his legs, got his abs and his chest. Got all the hair on his head, got his arms. By golly, I think I may have actually almost finished him. Well, finished this piece of him, this plan of his, this plan of mine for highlighting his hair. Now I just need to get a good little mix. Maybe go through a little bit of blendy stuff. Work those lines a little bit. You know what? I don't think I did this side of his back. To the other side of his back. But not all of it. Trying to, like I say, blend away some of the thicker lines, the more obvious lines, if I can. Let's make it look, whew, it's getting warm in here. Getting warm and toasty. I don't know how to cool it off. I'm already just down to my t-shirt. So maybe something cold to drink. All right, let's get some eyes on there. I think he needs some eyes. I haven't painted his eyes for a good reason. The good reason being, I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I was going to try to decide if I wanted to go with white, just make him have regular eyes, white with a pupil, which I can do, which would make him look a little less demonic. But he's a demon lord, right? So maybe that's not the worst thing. I don't know. Do I want to have him have demon fury eyes or just have regular eyes? Let's do some teeth. Teeth are easy. Those are just bone, right? Bone color. I have bone color right here. I might add a little white to it because I'm going to eventually put some red in it. Because this would be like bleached bone, but I'm going to put some other red in it. So, or maybe I'll put the He's got very well-defined, visible teeth, which is a good print process. So we'll give him credit for that. They got very sharp. None of his fangs are missing. It's good. You'd be amazed how uncommon that is, really. A lot of prints come with like the teeth are hard to see. Sometimes you get one with the minis, the teeth are so bad, it's like they just look like a blur. I mean, really, they're just it's like they look not much more than they're like their gums. Now, fangs usually can stand up, but you can also see that sometimes they're broken on a mini. See, he's got one fang here that may very well be shortened because it doesn't look very sharp. It's not as long as the other fangs by any means. I feel like it could very well be a faulty fang. See what we got here for teeth. Oh yeah, see we got teeth in the back here too. Again, very nicely defined teeth. Defined in that you can see the lines between them. Now the top teeth on this side, maybe not so defined. And then I gotta paint behind them, right? You gotta get the teeth in the back. There we go. Got to try to get enough moisture so that it comes off your brush, and yet not so much that it drips into his mouth, right? That works pretty good. Now, I take this red. I have to take the red and get it on there because I touched his tongue, and that's going to be fun because my touch his tongue. That means I gotta go past the teeth, over the teeth, and to the tongue. It's where my paint shall go. All right. Let's go ahead and put a little grasp of this over here on this muscle I forgot. And this muscle I missed. All right, so looks pretty good. All right, so now let's go ahead and call out a little bit more. Let's go ahead and get some silver, some nice, regular, everyday, fairly decently bright silver. And what is this? This is silver. There you go. And I'm actually just going to use this as the straight up highlight on the armor. I have a pretty good chrome. I mean, it's almost like a chrome. It's not chrome, it's plate mail, but it looks like chrome. It's really, really silver. It's probably a bit much. It's not quite like this, which is like a white. It's almost like what do you call it? Metallic version of white. The thing is, I've noticed about a lot of these metallics is they are quite resistant. Sometimes it seems to sting wet. I continue to try to just give this armor extra peak of cool silver. Yeah, that works. Okay, so let's keep moving. We'll keep plugging away on that. We'll move on to the next one. I should probably put some kind of a medium in here, though, because it really does dry fast. And if I don't hit the target quickly, it will literally dry up on my brush before I ever get a chance to. Alright, I'm getting close. Just trying to get this. Now this is true metallic metal. This is not non-metallic metal, so don't give me any credit where credit's not due. Some people go, that's a pretty nice, you can tell though, usually it's pretty obvious when it's true metallic. Because true metallic is actually metallic. And there's a difference between metallic and true metallic in that the thing you can tell is metallic has a little flickery. True metallic has flickeriness. You can't paint flickeriness, but what you can paint is reflectiveness. So if a person's pretty good at painting, they can paint the reflectiveness of, and it is an illusion of metallic. It's kind of what, it's really what metallics would look like when they're not, when they're actually metal. Like if you were to look at something that's like a metal car that's blue, is going to look, it will not, it'll have a metallic look, but it won't look, it won't have a, what do you call it, a sparkle to it. Now if you have a metallic blue car, it'll have a sparkle look to it. But they both look metal because it's still shiny. It's like an uber, really what it's almost like a glossy, non-metallic metal. It's like a glossy color. It's really what it is. It just looks super smooth, and it gives the illusion of being reflective. But in fact, it's not. It's just you're using colors to trick the eye into thinking they're seeing something they're not. Seeing something it's not, whatever. That's my medium. I gotta throw a drop of medium in my silver. It's just too fast drying. So my medium is really thick. I don't know if that's good. It might be slow drying, but it's thick. I don't know if it's supposed to be. Let's go do the other side. I have not gotten around to the other side yet. It's really hard. Get past this mace. It's funny, like if you watch both of these and I start complaining that I'm hungry, you probably watch, dude, you just did this and you were hungry just a minute ago. That was hours ago. Gotta remember I took a break between these paint sessions. It's not that I'm just always hungry. Of course I am hungry a lot. It does come when you exercise. You gotta be careful though. When you're exercising, you don't wanna, you gotta know the difference between hunger and just habit. That's the problem with me on Saturdays. I have a habit of eating uh, quite frequently, which is not good because I don't work out. If I don't work out, my body's used to eating a lot during the day, but it's like, but you didn't do anything, and as such, you don't need as much food. Your body doesn't need the food, but it's still kind of craving it because it's used to it. So when I'm doing this, I'm not actually painting all these spots so much as just putting it in the spots where I think the light would hit, the tops. So they're not fully painted. Trying to let the silver just kind of be a shiny spot. It's like this paint is just like drying faster than I can put it down. It's really annoying. I don't even know. Did I do this arm? I feel like I keep rotating him around. I feel like I did this arm already. There we go. Well, I've definitely done this arm now. It's like it's definitely been finished. Highlighted. I don't even know if I've got... I feel like it's just dry the second it touches my brush sometimes. Whew. All right. Yes. All right, so I don't know. I can't get it to stay dry, wet. I can never get more than a couple of noodles of paint down before the paint dries. Even with the medium in there, it's just drying up at a crazy fast speed. Well, I don't know. It's getting pretty close to done. Not exactly sure what else I need to do. I'm not done because I have to. Got a couple more highlights to do. I got his toenails and stuff to do. That's what I haven't painted. Toenails and fingernails and all those nails. But he is getting really close to that point where I'm going to go, that's done. That's as done as he's going to get. But I got to do the base. Oh, yeah, the base. I'm not talking too much right now. Getting down to the home stretch. It's not getting there. The home stretch, I can see it. I mean, I still got a few things to do, but each time it's that much closer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Definitely close. I think I kind of neglected these arm pad skulls. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't actually paint them. I mean, I painted them, but I mean, I didn't do any of the highlights and stuff that I did all the rest of them. And I did not do this on the teeth. which is one of the things I definitely wanted to do. I don't want to be too white, so this will be a bit better look. I don't know what the heck my dog is wigging out about. See somebody walking outside, protecting us from all those people not attacking. You know, she gets all, you know, the dog, funny how little Chihuahua-like dogs are. I say Chihuahua-like because my dog is not a Chihuahua, she's a mix, but she's got some of the aggression. Luckily, not all of the aggression of a Chihuahua. But it's funny how they're super aggressive until whatever it is actually attacks, and then they're like, ah, run! That's actually attacking me. I didn't scare it off. Pretty good at being aggressive at people too. Like, people won't hurt me. They know better. That's what I like to believe anyway. This one is definitely missing. Still haven't done the eyes. It's like I haven't decided what I'm doing with those eyes yet. And I'd kind of like to try to see if I can do kind of a lava-esque base on him. Lava-esque meaning I'm not going to do the cracked floor because he's got kind of a cracked floor. I want to see if I can paint one that's not cracked floor. So in order to do that, I'd have to paint the whole thing yellow and then kind of go over it with black and see what that does. I want to do that right now because that's the easy part. And I'm going to use Uriel yellow. It'll be close enough for government work. Government work. And somebody in government's going, what are you trying to say, man? You say government's not clean? Not good? Alright, so there's another thing I gotta do. It's just time. It's time for me to do this. Because it's kind of bugging me, and I need to hold this. I don't want to hold the base. Where's my glue? I don't know where the tip went. The tip. I poured in the super glue right straight on. Straight from that bin, man. And then I'll give my square spritz. I'll just close enough. And I'll have to trim off the extras, I guess, because that's that. It's all done. Glued on and ready to go. Now I can grab my magnet. Magnet! There it is. And then I can get my ugly brush because this is my dyeing brush. And then I just pick up a bunch of yellow onto this brush. And it's really important here is that I get those cracks, because the cracks are going to be the most important part of this little endeavor of mine. So I get it into this is really not a very because I don't want it standing in lava, so it's going to have to be lava rock, like it's glowing underneath him, but it's not, he's not standing on the lava. I mean, come on. He's a demon lord, but he's not invincible to lava. That would just be crazy talk. Oops, I did touch the bottom. All right. Yep, I got the yellow down. I don't know if I want it. I might want it to be a little bit more thorough, but it's in the cracks pretty good, which is the main area I wanted it to get to. So it's going to dry up. Hopefully, that'll be thorough enough. I wanted it to be a nice thick layer because I'm going to go over it with black, and then the black is where things get. Whoa! Hey! Whoa! What just happened? Something just made a loud noise in the shower or in the bathroom here. Must be one of the gargantuan spiders that my son's always talking about. He thinks this bathroom is infested with spiders. And it's not. It's like I go in there all the time. It's like there's like never anything in there, but I've seen a couple of spiders and they're okay. So we do live in a basement. It is a basement down here, but it's not like it's like always got spiders in it. I think I'm gonna go really light on this one here. I'm just gonna purposely run just through the cracks here. I don't care if it overflows a little again, but just where, then I'm going to try to paint. Ultimately, the goal is to try to paint a little bit around that. I'm going to try to paint around those heavy-duty cracks of yellow. Even if I filled them up, I don't care if they're filled up because it's not like it's kind of like a guide. Right. I'd imagine it's going to dry and fade quite a bit, but I'm hoping it'll be pretty good in the thick areas that I want to, and then I'm going to try to paint the whole thing kind of black around those cracks. So we'll see how that goes. Black or brown or whatever. Orange, black. Is orange black a color? See about a little bit more highlight on the red here. I don't know if I can do that with just more red though. I mean, do I need to actually have any other color in it? Kind of thought like an orange touch, but I don't know. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to have a lot of highlights on this. I mean, I don't know. What's the right amount of highlights? It doesn't have a lot of waves in this, in his cloak, so it's like, what's the right amount? There we go. Still a little bit of highlights, a little bit more color on the on his robe thing. I think it's almost too red to me, but okay. So what else do I need? I need eyes. I keep forgetting I gotta do eyes. The eyes have it. The eyes need my attention. The eyes and the base are pretty much the thing right now. I don't think there's much else. I should probably put, oh yeah, and the leather should probably get some highlights. But I think I'm going to call it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do one little thing. Just because it's the only part that's not covered with something. And that is this part of the base. I'm going to try and stay away from the yellow parts because I don't really want this to go into the yellow parts. Just, it's a base coat. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna have to hit it with regular black because this one is just a contrast paint. But at least puts something on the base. It's already getting better. But I will be going over with a solid black almost everywhere around where you see those yellow lines. The lines on there. I'm going to try to call it out and just go solid black everywhere. So we'll be painting around those and seeing how that comes out. But I can't do it with this paint because this paint is not made for that. It will just leak into all those cracks and crevices and then I'll be a mess. Then it'll wipe out all my yellow. So I can't do that. So that's next time. All right, time for another progress photo. And he's getting closer and closer to done. I want to get him done. So he's pretty important on my to-do list right now because I'm so close and I feel like he's pretty cool. And if I like the way something's coming out, I really push to get it done if I can. Yeah, all right, let's see here. There he goes. Getting close, troops. He's looking good. He actually has a pretty good appearance to me, so I'm liking him. And then we'll go here, add another color, or another figure. All right, let's see what else we got on here. So I have my red brick, obviously, my Gorgon Brown, which I didn't actually ever put that in. So we got Gorgon Brown has gone into this guy. Got some silver that's going in. I think I have the Evil Sun's red. I have that. I have Skeleton Bone. I have the Desolate Brown. I now have Uriel Yellow, which I don't know if this is going to pick up Uriel Yellow or not, but we'll find out. Paint. Add scan barcodes. I did. What do you know? Yep, got that one. Oh, got that one too. Nice. Okay. What else we got? I think I already have the Slaughter Red in there. I put the matte. Oh yeah, and I put a little Grim Black on him. Boy. Okay. I think that's it for now. Got a lot of colors. A lot of colors in this guy, but a lot of them are just shades and variations of things to try to give that that touch. But yeah, he's coming together. Almost done. We'll hit pause. We'll switch over. I will be back until. But I actually think I'm gonna charge up lights again because that was a decent second wave, and I want my light to be 100% when I come back. So yeah. Hey, if you check these out again, do check out the X case and the Mage Cage on Active Minds under Active Minds Games on YouTube and Instagram. You'll see some cool pictures and videos of them. They're the ultimate storage device for your or storage case for your miniatures and your paints and going to and from conventions and game shops and tournaments, whatever you're playing. Also, just the display stuff. We've got magnetic inserts for them. We're gonna have shelving that you can configure for the new cases when we do our Kickstarter. If you want to be part of that when it launches, follow us on Facebook. When we get 800 followers, we'll announce the date of the Kickstarter within a couple of months. And we will announce it quickly, and within a couple of months, the Kickstarter will begin. So, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get to that and get those into production. And we'll get some new cool big cases and cool inserts and get them out to everybody to set up their own displays at home. Until then, you take it easy. Goodbye.